That'll be the first step. All right, so we're definitely recording here, so we're good. Oops. I'm not quite sure what that is. All right, so I'm going to share I'll share my screen in a second here. So we'll get going tonight. I want to be respectful of everyone's time, but I certainly want to make sure that after this call tonight that there are very limited questions revolving around training camp. So I hope to answer as many questions as I can. I try to be as thorough as I can, but of course, there's going to be certain questions that we may not be able to answer at this time. So I'm going to get started now. So let me share my screen. Over to here. All right, we're all here. I hope everyone can see my screen. I hope you can hear me. Um, if you have any questions or anything as we move on, you can certainly utilize the chat function in there, and then I can cover them at the end. Um, so I'll get started here. So tonight, obviously, we're going to be talking about training camp, countdown to the games. How exciting! 337 days until USA Games in Minnesota. So 337 may look like a lot, but soon you're going to see that dwindle down in a hurry. So we have a lot of work to do, a lot of training to do along the way as we go through this process over the next 330 some days here. So congratulations to all of you. We'll get rocking and rolling here. So today we'll talk about training camp. Training camp tonight. I'll go over some of the goals of training camp. Share with you the itinerary. Talking about arrival, parking, logistics, and things like that. So I hope we answer as many questions as we can as it relates to training camp. And then Nick Camerata from the SOPA headquarters team will talk about Pennsylvania Day. That is coming up July 20th. So training camp. Hopefully you're all aware that training camp is Saturday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 3rd on the beautiful campus of Messiah University out in Mechanicsburg, PA. Uh, we are requesting that all athletes, coaches, any staff that is coming, that you arrive between 10:30 and 11:30. We're hoping that you can arrive closer to that 10:30, 11 o'clock time period. And I'll show you where we're going to report to. But it's important to note that arrival 10:30 to 11:30. We're going to report to the Jordan Science Center on the campus of Messiah University. Some of the things that we talked about, and why are we having training camp? One of the things is to get everyone together, obviously, and see everyone in person. Allow the opportunity for coaches to meet the athletes who may not be their home coach. So we can start building those relationships and meeting the coaches. Um, Not only do we want to build team building within your local team, within local sport that you have, but we also want to build a camaraderie amongst all of us on here as part of Team Pennsylvania. So really looking forward to that, meeting everyone and doing some fun activities. Another important thing for training camp is we're going to be doing some uniform sizing. Um, this is our one opportunity to get, almost all of the athletes in one place. And we're going to use this opportunity to collect your sizes, shirt sizes, pants sizes, shoe sizes, and all those good things. So we'll be doing some of that. We're also going to take some official headshots, so that'll be a fun opportunity. Was talking to Nick yesterday. Some good stuff going on there with the headshots. Then we'll talk about
Good.
some meeting and fundraising training. Once I get into the presentation, we'll talk more about that. We will do a little bit of sports training. Um, and then most importantly, and one of the exciting things about training camp is to have fun too. As you see, when we get into the itinerary, Very quick day. We have everything lined out hour by hour where we're going to be. We have rotations going through there. Um, but again, we're looking to build that team building and camaraderie and have a lot of fun along the way too. Um, some of it will be some training and some learning. Sports training will be fun, and we'll do some team building activities too to bring us a little closer together, get to know each other a little bit better. So we'll should be having a lot of fun in a very short period of time. Um, so I just wanted to mute someone. Um, what I just talked about was this is what the day looks like. The weekend will look like. So Saturday, August 2nd, we will all be departing towards Messiah University. Like I mentioned, we want everyone there between 10:30 and 11:30. We are going to arrive and do all of our check-in registration, room keys, and those type of things. Beginning at 10:30 to 11:30, we'll meet in the Jordan Science Center, and then between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, we will be doing dorm setup. So we'll be getting all the keys, things that you need for the dorm. And we will, once we depart from the Jordan Science Center, we'll have everyone move over towards Sollenberger, which is it's called a residence, is what they call it. I left residence on there just because that's the way that it is labeled on their signage around campus, but Schallenberger is essentially a dorm. So we will be staying in dorms. Got some good news about the dorms, but I'll save that when I get to the talk about housing. Right after that, we'll head over to lunch from 12 to 1, which is in the Eisenhower Student Center. You can see there. Then 1 to 1:30, we'll do some quick updates, some weekend updates. Again, we'll review what the weekend looks like. If there's any updates that um, we want to talk about there, we use that opportunity there, and that'll be in Fry Hall. And then we'll move into our rotations. Like I talked about earlier, we'll be doing headshots, uniform fitting, and start the opportunity of getting to know each other. So we'll be doing that between 1:30 and 4:45. We have a couple rotations to go through. Rotation one with Nick in the marketing team. We'll be doing headshots and some interviews with the athletes. Um, I always love looking at the interviews. I remember in 2022 with Nick doing the interviews and stuff. It was pretty awesome. We'll be doing that in Brubaker Auditorium. And then we'll do rotation two, like I talked about, uniform fitting. We'll be doing in the Hitchcock Arena. And then rotation three, we'll do some get to know you, do some team building activities, work on some goals, and outcomes, what you want to accomplish over the past year, what you want to accomplish at USA Games. So we'll do that. One of my favorite things that I look back on all the time, I brought this up on the coaches call the other night. I still have my 2022 picture of all the athletes that we took down to Orlando. So excited about getting a new team picture and updating my Facebook page. But again, every time I go on my Facebook page, I'm reminded of the incredible opportunity that we have here. So start building that team camaraderie. Why not do a team picture? So we'll be doing that at Brubaker Auditorium. Um, it's called an auditorium, but it's an actual gym. There's bleachers in there. There's basketball hoops and stuff like that. But um, after we do all that fun stuff, we'll move over to dinner. Well, actually, you'll just go back to your dorms, get freshened up, anything that you need to do in that meantime there. And then we'll head over to dinner again at the Eisenhower Campus Center, Eisenhower Student Center, that should say. That's where we'll have our dinner. And then once we're done dinner, we'll move over to what is called Frey Hall. We'll be doing some media and fundraising training from 6 to 7:30. And then after we're doing that, we'll move back over to the gymnasiums. We'll be doing some team building activities. And then from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, coaches, this is your opportunity to have team meetings with your athletes. So bocce, you'll have a classroom or a space to talk to the bocce athletes. Um, Athletics, you'll have the opportunity to talk to your athletics teams, your athletics athletes. Again, so we'll be assigning spaces for each of the teams to hold team meetings. Um, Long day, realize that some folks are starting their day 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning on Saturday. And we do have a pretty full agenda in there. You can see it's pretty jam-packed. So we'll allow you the opportunity to go back to your dorms around 9 o'clock, just to relax a little bit and think about the next day, think about what we did throughout the day on Saturday, thinking about your goals and those type of things. And then we really hope, I know me, I'll probably go to sleep at 9, 9:15, 9:30, something like that. But hopefully the athletes, you can all, flip those lights off about 10 o'clock so we can get a good night's sleep. And the reason for that is the next day, breakfast, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. So bright and early, we'll have breakfast again in that Eisenhower Student Center. And this next opportunity here between 8 and 10 will be the opportunity for you to meet with your coaches again, do some specific team training for the 2 hour period in there. After that, we'll bring the group back together again and do some different types of team building activities, whether it's a fitness program, APT, athlete performance training, or some other activity with that 10 to 12 time period. And then we'll take a lunch from 12 to 12:30. We shorten lunch a little bit there because we'll need the opportunity to start cleaning up, go back to your dorm rooms, clean up, get everything, all your bags packed and all that. And that should probably bring us to about 1 o'clock. So we'll be departing from there. I know there was questions. A couple of people just sent me some questions about transportation. What I have on the screen now is just for the folks that are in the western part of the state. Hopefully, your coaches have communicated with you which um, site that you will be being picked up at. There are 3 sites on the Western PA bus loop. One, the bus is going to stop at Beaver Valley Mall. There they will pick up our basketball team from Beaver, and any other athletes that are supposed to report to the Beaver Valley Mall. The bus should be coming pickup time at 6:15 a.m. Again, bright and early, and then off to Messiah. So that Beaver Valley Mall will be picking up there at 6:15. From Beaver Valley Mall, we're going to take the bus is going to go to the SOPA offices in the Pittsburgh area. Those of you that were asking for the address, it is listed there, the 300 Cedar Ridge Drive, Pittsburgh. Looks like from Beaver Valley Mall until we get to the SOPA office will be about 6:45. So it's about a half-hour drive from Beaver, from the mall to the Pittsburgh office. Looking to get all the stuff on the bus, all your gear loaded on that bus, and then from there the bus is going to drive to Sheets in Somerset, pick up a couple athletes there. After that, we're going to move from that Sheets. Everyone that needs a ride from the Western PA will be on that bus, and they look to arrive at Messiah about 11 a.m. And then I did the reverse on the other side, what it looks like from Messiah back to the Pittsburgh office. So when we leave at 1 o'clock in Messiah, we'll go to Sheets. Sorry, I just can't see the time there. From Messiah, we'll go to the Sheets in Somerset, look to get there about 3:15, drop the athletes off, get moving again about 3:30. From that Sheets, again, the reverse, we'll go to the Pittsburgh office, look to get to the Pittsburgh office about 5 o'clock, unload everyone. Hopefully it takes 15 minutes or whatever that looks like there. After the Pittsburgh office, then we'll go back to the Beaver Valley Mall, and that's where we'll drop off the basketball athletes. For those of you who are individual sports, most of you have been in contact with your coach about how you're getting the training camp. Coaches have been talking. I know athletes are being picked up by certain people and brought to Messiah. Couple of the teams, you have buses and vans and stuff, and buses, vans, and cars. And I'll show you where to park and all that coming up in a couple slides coming up. Athletes or coaches, If you do not know where you're being picked up, who's picking you up, and those type of things, please email myself and your coach as soon as possible. I believe there's two athletes right now that we're trying to get a hold of to secure their transportation. I know that the coaches have reached out to the athletes. So if you got an email or a phone call for one of the coaches, please respond
Cool.
ASAP. Oops.
No playground, bud.
Oh, then of course
No playground?
So to get out of the car.
Sorry about that. Someone's enjoying the playground tonight. Um, there we go. So that's the Western PA bus. So I did send the transportation outline to all the coaches today. Coaches, if you could please take a look at that document, making sure that what I have recorded is accurate, so we know that all athletes have transportation to and from Messiah University. I'd like to get that wrapped up sooner than later, so we can make sure that obviously everyone has a ride, knows where they're supposed to be. One other thing that I want to mention about the Western bus, coaches from the basketball team, just make sure that all your athletes are there loaded on the bus. And then we get to the SOPA office. That's where the soccer team is going to be picked up. I know Mary, you and Rashim are also going to go to the Pittsburgh office, so make sure you get on the bus there. Stephanie Taylor from the Western Three Rivers region is also joining us at training camp this year. So she will meet at the SOPA office just to make sure that all the Beaver athletes are there and there's no issues there. Checking in with the coaches from Washington Green and the athletes that are leaving from the Pittsburgh office that are there. And then she'll follow the bus over and meet at Sheets as well. She'll be the main contact liaison with the bus company. In case there's any issues or a bus breaks down, she can contact, whoever's at Sheets and, hey, the bus is running 15 minutes late, we'll be there ASAP, and those type of things, just so we have a staff member that is there to assist with any issues that you may have. I'm going to keep going. So again, if there's any questions related to transportation, we can unmute in a little bit. That is a terrible line there, but I did try to demonstrate the arrival. Again, Messiah University, arrival, please, between 10:30 and 11:30. Again, the closer to 10:30 to 11 o'clock, the better, just so we can get things moving. You can see the main entrance there. Essentially, there's really just one main entrance to Messiah University. You can see that in the middle of the screen there. As you pull in, you're going to go off to the left, and you can see the red highlight that I put in there that outlines the loop road that goes around the campus. We will also have signs from that main entrance until we get over to the parking lot, which is at that Klein Jordan lot. So again, you come on the campus, you go over to the left, and then parking. So as you come down, you will see that we will be parking in the Klein Jordan lot. So you can see the red down there where it stops. That is the Klein Jordan lot. And then here's a closer image of the Jordan lot. Plenty of parking in there. One thing that I do need to check on, and I'll coordinate this with Stephanie, is the coach bus. The coach bus can't park there. They need to park somewhere else. But the vans and personal cars and vehicles can certainly park in that parking lot, and it's very convenient. You can see it's right there next to the Jordan Science Center, as well as the Sollenberger residence, which is the bottom right. You can see the Jordan Center over there to the left. Klein Jordan lot right there in the middle. Off to the right is the Sollenberger residence, essentially the dorms where we'll be sleeping. So that will be the parking. So once you get to that parking lot, we're going to have all athletes and teams come into the Jordan Science Center. You can see the arrow right there. So again, the parking lot's there. You can see Jordan Science Center there to the left. And that's where we will be meeting. Within there, we'll be doing some check-ins. We'll be doing some medication check-ins there. We have some team gear that we're also going to give out to the athletes. So essentially, we'll be doing 3 different things there. At that point, we'll also be giving the room keys to the coaches. Once all the athletes and coaches are there, the head coaches, assistant coaches will have the dorm keys of all the athletes, and then we'll go back. Then you can head back over to the dorm, which is that Sollenberger residence there. That's that. If some athletes are there at 10:30 and Coach Tom doesn't get there till 11:15, we'll have to wait until 11:15 when Coach Tom gets there. Basketball, flag football, I think all the team sports are coming together, so that shouldn't be an issue. It's just with those individual sports where you have some folks coming from Pittsburgh, some coming from the eastern part of the state. So we will give the keys to the coaches upon arrival. Once all the coaches have their athletes, we'll proceed over to the Schallenberger residence. And within there, in the dorm room is when we'll get the dorms ready and all that kind of stuff. So again, you'll come around, you'll park in the parking lot there. The one thing that we are going to ask is if we leave the equipment and the bags in your vans and your cars until we get you checked in, the coach is there. What we are trying to avoid is having you park in the parking lot, get all your stuff out and take it into the Jordan Science Center, and then move over to Sollenberger residence. So you don't have to move stuff twice. The reason for that is we really wanted to do registration, everything in Sollenberger resident, but there's really not enough space in there. Any community space that's in there is pretty small, and we have a couple different things that we're trying to accomplish at registration. Right across the parking lot, pretty close together. Again, when we get out to Minnesota, we're going to be doing plenty of walking, and plenty of walking. So we're going to be doing a little bit of walking here at training camp. And housing, like I mentioned, again, this is almost a repeat of the last slide. Again, off to the left, you can see the giant Jordan Science Center. That's where we'll do registration. Parking in the middle. Sollenberger resident is our housing. When I mentioned the housing earlier, I did want to mention that it is carpeted and they are air conditioned. So please don't bring any fans or anything like that because it is, carpeted and air conditioned. They do provide a pillow and a blanket. Those of you who have been to Penn State for summer games, the beds that are in there are like extra long as opposed to like a smaller single bed. So they are extra long. And it will have a blanket provided, but what they will not provide is an additional pillow. So if you wanted to bring an additional pillow, please bring that. I know myself, I sleep with 3, so I'm going to bring an extra 1 or 2. A sheet for the bed, that will go right on the bed. Again, that is an extra large bed. And then bring the sheets and an extra blanket if you need it. Hopefully we don't need it, but I prefer to sleep on my own blanket anyway. So I'll be bringing sheets and a blanket and extra pillows. You will not have any time for any gaming. So please do not bring any gaming systems or any additional things. Again, this is a pretty compact weekend, a lot of activities. So on Saturday night, we don't want you up all night playing video games. Please get some rest so we can get up early the next day and we can do some team training. So that is our housing. And we're all in the same housing. I worked with the coaches to do housing assignments. We took them, we put it into the system with Masai and shared that with them. Once I double check and make sure that I know that everyone is who is attending, if someone's not attending, I will share that with the coaches. So ahead of time, you'll know what room is assigned to each of your athletes. Coaches, just as an FYI, I know that a lot of you, when you go to like a dorm or winter games or anything like that, you usually put like name tags on the doors. It's a beautiful dress. It's something special that you do there. It dresses up the place a little bit, but you do not need to do that. We'll cover that. We'll cover that for you, and we'll put some name tags and stuff like that on the doors. So just wanted to give you a heads up there. I didn't want to waste your time since we'll already be doing that. All right, and then dining, which is in that Eisenhower Student Center. You can see it there. It's right across the parking lot. Very convenient to us. The dining room is called the Lottie Nelson Dining Hall, which is in Eisenhower Student Center. Um, above the screen there on the left, you can see this. It's called We're Sleeping in the Sollenberger Dorms, but then there's also a Sollenberger Sports Center, which has their gymnasiums and a couple other things in there. But connected to that is the Eisenhower Student Center, which you can see down there where it says Campus Store in the Falcon. Um, Beautiful dining room that they have there. You can see the arrow, so that is where we will have dining. You will be provided lunch on Saturday, as well as dinner on Saturday. When we wake up on Sunday, there'll be breakfast and there'll be lunch provided, and then we'll be departing. It is all you can eat. There's buffets, there's different foods, so we're not going to be served like chicken nuggets or something like that. There's a variety of food that you go up and you go to the station and you get your food. Did send a request to the coaches to see if any athletes or coaches have any dietary restrictions. So coaches, if you're on this call, if you can please take a look at the form that I sent out and let me know of any allergies or anything like that, that we may have that I can alert the university prior to getting there. Athletes or parents or anyone, if one of your athletes does have a need for dietary, any restrictions or anything like that, please let me know. Please reach out to your coach or myself. Coaches, if you can also help in that process, I'd like to get that taken care of before we actually get out there, just so we're prepared and we don't have any issues at that time. The other building I want to show you is Frey Hall. Again, they're all pretty much right in the same. It's like a big giant quad right there. So Frey Hall. After lunch on Saturday, we'll move over to that Frey Hall building there. We'll do a welcome in that space there. And then later on Saturday night, again, we'll return to they call it Fry Hall. Fry Hall, and we'll do the training for the marketing as well as some of the fundraising things that we want to talk about at camp. So you're prepared to speak to the media, do any interviews, on camera stuff. I saw some pretty cool opportunities that some of the athletes had to be on the news, which was pretty awesome. So we want to make sure the athletes are prepared to speak not only about Special Olympics Pennsylvania, but talk about your experience along the way as we journey towards USA Games. So good opportunity there, good learning experience. Looking forward to that opportunity. But again, that's a different building that we'll be going to in Frey Hall. Coaches and athletes wanted to bring this to your attention here. Softball coach Samantha, if you're on here, we did find a space for you to train. It's called the Church Field, and that's where softball would go. If you look in the middle of the screen there, you can see the main entrance. There's a road that leads out of the main entrance, and then you can see the church field up. It's not an actual field, it's like a grass field, and that's where softball will be. There is an intramural field, which is, again, right near the main entrance there. On that field is where we'll be doing flag football as well as soccer. Off campus, we'll need to go off campus for golf and bowling. I know Nelson and Mark have been working together about that golf site, and I need to get on the bowling site. So, bowling coach, once I get that bowling house, I'll send that information to you. Again, we'll have to travel off campus for those two sports. I did mention earlier that Schallenberger Sports Center. Again, this is that team training that we talked about that we'll be doing on Sunday. In that Schallenberger Sports Complex, there is where we'll be doing basketball on half of the court, and then volleyball with the other half. We'll be doing volleyball in the other half. They will provide us with volleyball nets, so you will be able to do some training in there. Also in that building, there's an indoor track, which we'll utilize for athletics. And the pool is in there for swimming. Nelson, I think you're on here. You can see the Falcon Fitness Center will be your athletes. You can train in the fitness center. And then Bocce, there's a large classroom in that Schallenberger. Um, Hopefully it's a nice day. It's going to be a nice day. I can feel it now. We might put the bocce out there on the quad, um, and I'll bring a UCS um, bocce set so that you have that, so you don't have to bring any equipment or anything for bocce. So that was a quick thing here. Nick, do you want me? I'm going to pull this up. I think you're on. Can you speak to the Google map just so folks
I'm here.
understand? All right,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
So this is just a link to a Google map that has pins for everything where we'll need to be on campus for the entire weekend. So if you bookmark that link or just open it up on your phone, it should launch the app, and then you'll be able to see everything on the left-hand side is kind of filtered by event. So there's parking, where we go for arrival, housing at our dorm, the dining hall, and then all of the sports and competition venues, or training venues, I should say. So literally all you would need to do is click on where you want to go and then hit directions, and Google Maps will take you there. So definitely super helpful for arriving on campus and knowing where to park and check in. But then also, if you are getting a feel for campus for the first time, you should be able to just click on any of these, like the dining hall or Fry Hall, where a lot of events are happening, and it'll take you there.
Great, Nick. Really appreciate you putting this together. Super helpful. If you notice on here, it looks kind of big, but you can see University Avenue that goes around the campus. You can see Schallenberger down there on the bottom right. Parking lot there with that Messiah University, that check there is that science center that we talked about. And then that Frey is off to the left there. And then that Lottie Nelson dining hall that's in there, kind of off to the left there. And then you can see the Falcon Fitness Center. You can see all the sports listed there, so that looks pretty cool too. So super helpful for that. So you'll be able to click on it tomorrow when I share the link out. Click out of there. Oop. I was going to look at the chat real quick, see if there was anything related to camp that we needed to cover real quick. All right, Sheena. Nancy Grimm, I'll have to look on that. You can also reach out to your coach. Anyone know what area the Pittsburgh office is located? I put the directions in there. Did you receive, well, Dylan David's info, I believe. I'll talk about that in a second here. Phone, what that taking me? Close to my. All right, Freddie, I have that, so I'll reach out to you. I will be sending the presentation out, the recording as well as the presentation. Second assistant HOD, and we are working on that. Have a couple other things in the pipeline coming down, so we're trying to fill out the remaining HOD position. I know Nick has been working hard too, looking to do some athlete opportunities within that as well. Let's see here. Let's see, I just want to double check the chat again. So to answer that question, we almost have an assistant HOD, and that assistant HOD that's replacing Jesse. That individual will be managing the registration process for us. Just to talk about the registration process, Thank you for those who've all turned in your registration packet. Next week, I will be going out to Minnesota for 4 days for the HOD conference. When I get back from the HOD conference, I will be meeting someone who's going to support registration with us. So you might have a new individual reaching out to you. All the registration for Team Pennsylvania is due by August 15th. So if you have not gotten your paperwork in, please get me the paperwork as soon as possible. I did go through as much of the paperwork as I could at this time, but we'll really start digging into the registrations and the medical to get everyone's registration processed. Again, the registration packet, which was like the really the date on the Athlete Unified Partners, as well as the delegation members, right? Simple things like your name, date of birth, address, those type of demographics. Those of you that completed it, there's also the code of conduct on there. There's a release for us to utilize your pictures and things like that. So that paperwork is probably about 5 or 6 different pages. All that information we got to get into their system by August 15th. The physicals, and most of you have turned in the physicals, those need to be put into the system by November 1st. So we're saying October 31st. So I'd really like to finish up any physicals or any medical physicals that we need. We really got to get them in by hopefully the middle, but no later than the middle of October. But again, we'll be reaching out to the coaches, athletes for any outstanding. So look for that to happen shortly. And just real quick before I turn it over to you, Nick. Oh, did I skip over that? Is there a dress code? I did have that on there. Oops, sorry, Nick. There we go. That threw me off for a little, but that was a good question there, right? Perfect segue. What to pack for training camp? So great question there. There are items that SOPA will be providing and items that, obviously we would not provide. You can see on the left there, there's your personal items. When I talked about housing in the dorms, I talked about linen and bedding. So again, if you need an extra pillow, bring that. Bring your cover sheet for your bed. Again, that's an extra large single bed. Sleeping bag if you have one. Backpacks, bring that as well. We'll talk to Mark, see what type of golf clubs you need. I don't know if you need your full bag of golf clubs or anything like that. But Mark will reach out to you if you need to bring golf clubs, what golf clubs you need. Swim goggles will be in the pool. Medication, I'll talk about on the next slide coming up. But all prescriptions, they must be in the original container. That includes the dosage and the physician contact information. So, please don't bring it in a pill box that says, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that you put the individual pills in there. Please bring the individual prescription container. So we have that. That prescription must be in a clear Ziploc bag. Please put your name on it so it's clearly displayed on there. So if you need assistance with your medication, we make sure that we're giving you the right medication, the specific time. We have easy access to it. The other things would be toiletries, when you get a shower items, shampoo, things like that, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, any shaving items, anything like that, please bring that with you. Any chargers for your phone or your tablet, please make sure that you remember to bring that. Again, it's going to be a beautiful weekend, so let's get some sunglasses and some sunscreen to bring that with you as well. And those are the personal items. And then the clothing, make sure you're bringing your undergarments. Again, we're going to be there. You're going to leave some of you are going to leave bright and early on Saturday morning. So make sure you have enough clothes for Saturday, enough clothes for Sunday. Bring some socks, your sleepwear. Those of you that want to wear shower shoes, I encourage you to bring that. Please bring 2 shirts. Again, make sure it's athletic attire. We're not going to go out to dinner or anything where you need to get dressed up in polos or Athletic attire is fine. You do not need to come in your flag football uniform or your basketball uniform. Dress comfortably for that Sunday. Take a look at the weather ahead of time before we get there in case you need a jacket or sweatshirt. Really need you to bring sneakers because we'll be doing a lot of walking, training, comfortable shoes. So make sure there's sneakers. We will be on the gymnasium floor a lot of the time too. So make sure that you do bring sneakers. Bring some athletic attire, specifically for Sunday morning when we do the specific team training. We're going to have to make sure that we're monitoring the weather too. I think for the most part, a lot of the sports are indoors. Some are going to be outdoors, right? So golf will be outdoors. Flag football, basketball, not basketball, flag football, softball, soccer, golf will be outside. So we'll monitor the weather there too. If we have to make any pivots or anything like that, we will. What we will be giving you upon registration, when I talked about registration earlier, I mentioned that there's going to be a couple things that we're doing. That's why we moved into the other building. We will be providing you with a USA Games t-shirt. That t-shirt, we're going to ask that upon, once you get that t-shirt, you check into your dorms. We're going to ask that all athletes that you do wear the USA Games t-shirt that we're providing. We're going to be doing headshots with the t-shirts. You will also be getting a polo shirt. There's no reason that you would need to wear the polo shirt during training camp. One of the reasons that we're giving each athlete a polo shirt is, again, if you're doing any marketing, if you're going out on the road and speaking to any vendors or volunteers, or you have speaking to a newspaper or speaking on TV, we want to make sure that you look nice. You're representing Team Pennsylvania, so you will be getting a polo shirt. I think we do have a couple of pictures coming up too. I didn't want to ruin it too much, but Nick and his team's been doing an awesome job putting together the gear store and the logos, which we went over last time, which will look pretty awesome with our baseball hats. So that'll be cool. We are also going to give each athlete a drawstring bag. Within that drawstring bag, you'll be getting your t-shirts and your gears and stuff like that. Like I mentioned earlier, the t-shirts, we would like all athletes to wear your t-shirts for headshots on Saturday. So good stuff there. Excited to see what those game t-shirts look like. So that's going to be cool there. So again, this will be sent out to you. So make sure that you look over this and that you're properly prepared before you head out. Coaches, if you could just, reiterate with your athletes what they need to bring. Team sports is a little bit easier. You can check their stuff before you come out there, but make sure your athletes are all, prepared for the weekend to do some training. Medication management, similar process that we do for each of our state level competitions when we stay overnight. So I'm going to cover this, so make sure that we're prepared. Again, like I mentioned, it's the same process that we use for any state level competition. If you do have any questions as it relates to medication management, there is a link there that I'll take you to the medication assistance best practices. If you have any questions as it relates. Within the medication management, if you're not familiar with it, there are 3 different categories within that management and how we operate and distribute medication. So between the parents, families, guardians, athletes, coaches, please determine where you fall in one of these 3 categories. So one of the categories is full independence. You can see that in line 1 there, off to the left. And then there's athletes that need some supervision, some assistance. And then with athletes, anyone that needs full assistance. So please, hopefully you can identify which of those categories that you're in. The full independence. Those are the athletes that have full independence. You're able to take responsibility for administering your own prescribed medications. When you're at home, when you're on the road, right, you can go in your cabinet and you know what time you need to take your medication, whether you need to take it with food, water, well, take water with your medicine, but any type of medicine that you need. So the full independence, you do not need to complete a form, right? You can see that there where it says forms required, full independence, no forms required for those individuals that are at full dependence. The medication packaging for camp, again, athletes should bring their medication to camp, similar to how to manage it at home. Pill containers, bottles, we want to make sure that it's in a clear plastic bag, that we have the prescription bottle. The medication oversight at camp, athletes will keep and self-administer their own medication during camp and USA Games. Coaches are not responsible for administering or storing the medication. Again, that whole blue line there is for athletes that will have full independence. Moving into the second line there with some supervision and assistance. This applies to the athletes who require assistance with any of the following. Does the athlete need removing medication from the original container? Do you need help accessing the medication? Preparing the medication as ordered by the prescriber? Do you need something open for you to access an item or the prescription? Do you need some supervision, being reminded or remembering the schedule for taking your medication? So if you fall into that category, and I'll jump into that in a second here, you can see the forms required. So that is the second category. Then the last category is for those athletes that need full assistance. This applies to the athletes who are unable to recognize their medication. You're not sure how much medication is to be taken, or know when the medication is to be taken. Is kind of duplicated there. So again, for some supervision and assistance needed, full assistance needed for medication management. Those two categories there must complete the medication assistance consent form. I've highlighted it here. It's also a link to print out that form. Hopefully most of you that take medication are familiar with that form. This form must be completed by a family member or your guardian or any caregivers. The form will also include any information about the dosage, the level of assistance, method of administration, time, and other key elements of medication. So again, forms required, some supervision and assistance, full assistance, you would need to complete that consent form. Overall, the middle column there were medication packaging for camp. For the two groups there, this supervision and assistance and full assistance, the medication should be provided in the original prescription container. Talked about that a little while ago. Container is dispensed. It'll be labeled with a prescription. It'll come in a bottle, have the prescription on there. All that medication, please place it, if you can, please place it in a clear Ziploc bag with your name on it. With that bag where you're putting the prescription, if you could please make sure that you put the medication assistant consent form in there to allow us to give out your medication support with the administration of the prescriptions or any medication that you need be. So there's two things. There's the medication assistant consent form. So it'll have all that information on there. Medication oversight at camp. So upon arrival at the Science Center there, we'll have 3 stations set up. One will be the general check-in. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to camp. I'll check you in, give you a credential and things like that. The other station upon arrival will be the medication management, and that's where we'll collect the medication. We're going to ask that the coaches store and administer the medication in accordance with the medication consent form. So all that will be filled out for you. I think a lot of the coaches on here are familiar with that. If anyone has any questions, please certainly reach out to me. One thing that I failed to mention, we will have medical that will be present throughout the weekend. So Jamie is on this call tonight. He is one of our medical that is joining us, throughout this process as we go to USA Games. And then he will also be at USA Games with us. We also have Ellen Payne. who is also an athletic trainer. She will be an additional medical support person that we have. Again, both of those individuals will be at training camp. Jamie will be staying over in the dorm, so if there's any issues or anything like that at night, we will have a procedure to work with the medical in case of any emergencies, throughout the weekend. Ellen will be there for the majority of the weekend. She will not be staying overnight. We've already worked that process out between Jamie, Ellen, and myself. So, any questions? I just want to alert everyone that we will be having medical on staff, so there's no, in case there was any concerns or anything like that. All right, so that's the forms, how you package it for camp, and then the oversight of camp. And the next one, I'll just talk briefly about the coach's responsibility and the medication check-in at training camp. So for coaches that have athletes with prescriptions or medication, for the athletes that are needing some or full assistance, Team PA coaches are responsible for holding and storing the medication. Each dorm does have refrigerators. If we need to refrigerate any medicine or anything like that, we certainly have that available to us. Medication will be stored, again, as it's noted on the medical assistant consent form. So we need to know that information on how to give medication, how you need to store it, times a day, those type of things. And again, that is for the athletes that need some or full assistance. Coaches will record the date, time, medication need, name, the amount of medication provided, as well as any relevant comments. Mention that, right? Taken with yogurt, taken with food, taken with water. Those type of things will be listed on the medication assistance tracker. And those trackers will be given to SOPA staff before we leave for the weekend. So we'll collect them back. Michelle Boone will be in training camp as well. She'll be managing that medication check-in there. So upon arrival, if you have any questions, I'll be there as well. But the medication specifically, Michelle managed that with the coaches. So if there's any questions throughout the weekend, we're certainly there to support the athletes, coaches as well. So the medication check-in at training camp, I did mention the 3 stations that we will be having upon registration. So there will be a medication check-in table upon, as you arrive at the training camp, again in the Science Center. All athletes will visit the table and be asked about their medication, what support that they need, collect the medical assistant consent form. Again, we want to we'd really like for you to put your medication into a Ziploc bag, put your name on there. The medication will be taken at the time and organized to be given to their coach. This will occur between 10:30 and 12 o'clock on that Saturday morning upon arrival. If meds are needed at noon or lunchtime, we'll inform the coach. If for some reason you get there at 10 o'clock and you need to take your medication at 11, the coach isn't there yet, Michelle will be there, and there'll be SOPA staff and other folks there that can help support that. The coach will keep the medication for the duration of the camp, and then we'll return it to the athletes upon departure. And again, that is for the athletes that need some or that need full assistance. So please, when I send this out, if you can look over that, that will be super helpful prior to the event, so there's no hold up or anything like that. We can get you moving, get you over to the dorms, ready to go and start the weekend, start training camp. Nick, before I go, I'm going to look at the chat in there, see if there's anything in there. Can we go swimming? We're not going to have the opportunity to get together and go swimming at training camp unless you were a swimmer. So the swimmers will have the opportunity to go into the pool. Bowlers, you'll have the opportunity to bowl. Golf, you'll have the opportunity to go hit some balls and things like that. You shouldn't really need any meal money or anything like that. There's really nothing that you would around us. We won't be leaving campus or anything like that. Maybe it's good to bring some spending money in case something happens along the road as you're traveling, to pick up a snack or something like that. I don't believe that you will need to. Everything that we need should be right on campus. Lisa, we can talk about bringing your bowling ball. Again, like I mentioned, we will be going bowling and off-site, so it'll probably be good for you to have your bowling ball and your equipment with you. I'll let the head coach reach out to you, but again, I mean, they bowling houses do have bowling balls and things like that, but again, you're probably more comfortable with your own in your shoes as well. Can we bring over the counter? Well, thank you for answering that. Patrick said, thank you. Can I park my car overnight at the Pittsburgh office? Yes. Okay, so we're good there. All right, Nick, I think we wrapped them up, man. That was good questions. Once we get through the remaining part of the presentation, I'll stop and stop sharing, and then we can have any conversations, any questions that you may have. So, Nick, I would love for you to talk about our headshots training camp, what to expect, some other cool opportunities that we have coming up.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Bruce. So yeah, super excited about camp, and we're really lucky because we're going to have a professional portrait photographer coming out to do our headshots on Saturday. He's photographed a number of USA games before and now works full-time staff for Special Olympics New Jersey, actually. His name is Marco, and he's a phenomenal photographer. So he's going to be leading us for all of our official Team PA headshots, which we'll not only use for our credentials for the entire event, but we'll use them for our website, for all of our marketing materials, and just really to publicize and get the word out about how awesome all of you are and how awesome Team PA is. So we're going to kind of rotate through groups between doing the headshots, doing the uniform fitting, and then doing some other cool like team bonding activities. But you'll want to come prepared and ready in terms of, your hair, your makeup, anything else that you need to do to feel comfortable and ready to get your headshot, because we'll be doing that on Saturday first thing after lunch. We're going to be giving away t-shirts that you'll wear. So when you check in, you'll get a bag with the t-shirt that you'll need. It'll be a navy blue shirt with the Team PA logo on it, and that's what we'll all wear for our headshots. And yeah, just have fun with it. It should be pretty laid back and a fun atmosphere to get those done. Thanks for the question, John. No, it'll only be kind of like your torso and up, so there won't be any need for like coordinating on shorts or khakis or pants or anything like that. So you can wear whatever you want for the bottoms, but just make sure the navy blue shirt on top. Sorry, I should have paused after that. Any other headshot related questions or photography questions? I should say also during that time, we're going to be doing some video interviews and some like feature marketing photos. So you'll probably be hearing from some of us here soon, just to kind of touch base, for the video component, and just to see if you're comfortable with that and want to participate in doing like a longer interview on camera. We'll be pulling some people aside to kind of tell us your story, tell us why you're excited about being part of Team PA, why you're excited about USA Games, that kind of stuff. So that will also be happening simultaneously to when we're taking headshots. Okay, so this is just a quick little thing, not necessarily related to training camp, but coming up between this meeting and our August training camp dates. July 20th is Pennsylvania Day, which I only found out recently, despite being a lifelong Pennsylvania resident. But apparently we celebrate Pennsylvania Day on that day. I believe that's the day that we became a Commonwealth officially. So we are going to try and take advantage of that moment and that celebration of that day, just by amplifying the USA Games and Team PA message on social media and via email. So what you'll see is a lot of posts with a graphic that looks pretty similar to this Happy PA Day with, um, different athletes featured on it. And in the presentation here, if you click on the links, you'll be able to see and access graphics that you can download and share and language that you can download and share. Those will take you to a Dropbox folder that you can download and publish right on your own social media. If you kind of wanted to encourage your friends or your family or just anyone who follows you to celebrate PA Day. And then kind of right along with the celebration, we're going to be launching a limited edition gear store. So that friends, family, coworkers, anyone else who wants to buy a shirt or a hat that has the Team PA logo on it can do so. So that store will be activated on July 20th, and you can share that link out. And then just a reminder, I think this was talked about on the previous meeting as well, but the goteampa.org link, that's the link to the fundraising page overall, which I know, like I said, was talked about previously. And we'll also have a session kind of led by some of the experts from our development team to talk a little bit more about fundraising efforts and how we can kind of go about that. But from a marketing perspective, just know that we would certainly appreciate, and love for you to share out the link for Pennsylvania Day and for the gear store. Olivia, yep, we absolutely will. I think that's actually on the next slide, Bruce, potentially, if I got the order correct.
So you
here.
ready to go to the next one?
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right, here we go.
Yep. So here's the link to the gear store. You'll get that in the presentation as well. But that'll be the link that you can share out with friends and family. I should say, Olivia, the link is also in those on the previous slide, that like the Dropbox folders with the toolkit that has the social media language and the graphics. So in that language link, there's also the link that you can go to. So you know what? I will also put the gear store link in the chat here, just so
You want me to
everyone
pull it
has
up?
it. I got it right here, Bruce.
Okay.
I should also say, feel free to buy this gear, but you guys are going to be getting a lot of gear all swagged out. So I don't necessarily think you would need to, unless you really want to, or want like triples of something or something like that. But it's everyone on Team PA is going to get, plenty of different designs of our shirts and our hats and our bags and pants and warm-ups and uniforms and all that kind of good stuff. But here you can see the items that are going to be in the limited gear store. And this navy blue shirt that you see on the right-hand side, that's what we're going to be wearing for our official team headshots at training camp. Okay, and then here's just a couple of additional resources. Again, all these will be linked and you can access the links directly through the slideshow, but you can, Olivia, the August training camp swag that we're going to get, just to answer the question in the chat, sorry everybody, is going to be one polo, dark blue polo, which I'll re-emphasize what Bruce said. So you won't need to wear the polo at training camp, but if you're out in the community, if you're doing speaking events, if you just want to rep Team PA at a cool thing you're going to, like a concert or a party, or if you are going to do a media opportunity, speaking on the news, or going to do an interview with someone, you can absolutely wear that polo to that event as like the official Team PA gear, I guess. And then we'll also get the shirt and we'll get a hat. Beyond that, we'll get the rest of the swag and all of the uniforms and everything else that comes along with it later, probably pretty close to our departure for Minnesota in general. So yeah, these additional resources, you can just see our SOPA webpage, the USA Games official webpage, hotels for the families, our SOPA Team PA Facebook group you can join if you haven't already. That'll be a great area to get information, news and notes, all different kinds of happenings with Team PA, and just a cool way to communicate and stay in touch. And then also the general USA Games Facebook page as well. David, I saw the link is not opening. There's a chance that they might be holding it to open until the 20th, but it also is working on my end, so I'm not sure. I can definitely look into that. Has anyone else tried to open the Gear Store link and had an issue or able to open it? Just curious, because I know we're working with Champion on it, and they said it should be ready to go. Works for Angela. Okay,
So I'm going
cool.
to check it out and see if it works.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it worked.
Yeah. David looks like might be maybe something with your browser, or you're like getting blocked or cookies or something like that. But I can follow up with you later too to make sure that we have the right link. And we'll be sharing that link out on our social, and you'll also all get an email with, you know, all the Team PA Day information and everything like that. But yeah, I think that was basically it from the marketing side of things. But if anyone has any questions on anything about training camp, about PA Day, or about just anything marketing and PR in general, let me know.
Awesome, Nick. Good stuff. Love the gear. I know, pretty excited to get the gear in and start wearing it. It looks fantastic. I do
And we have
want
a lot more cool gear coming too. Don't worry, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So
We're just getting started, right?
yeah,
I left the family hotel link in there. The USA Games folks will start providing us information as it relates to family. Again, I talked about this last time, but they consider Q4. So look for that information to come out, whether it's October, November, December. So as soon as I get any information for the families, we'll be sure to share that with you. Also, for our next meeting, I'll cover more of the kind of logistics of USA Games, as far as where different buildings are and stuff like that. But if you wanted to take a peek ahead of time, please feel free to go to the USA Games webpage. The second one there has all the venues, a lot of different information on there. So very good resource there. And then certainly, if anyone has any questions, you can reach out to me. I have my email address there. Bryn was unable to join tonight, but again, Bryn is the assistant HOD, so you can shoot her an email as well. And then Nick's email is on there too. So 3 resources that you can use. Additionally, you have your coaches as a resource that you can reach out to as well. All right, Nick, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing. I'll stop sharing. I'll pull up some of the chat. There's everyone. Look at that. All right, so we're good there. I just want to make sure if there's any questions in there. John, I think we answered that questions. To buy gear. Let me see. Nick, did you answer that question? Will we get a different link to buy the gear? I just want to make sure we haven't answered Olivia's question there.
yep, that's the Champion link. Yep.
Okay. All right, we can always count on Coach Nelson. He's in. All right, Nick, there you go. I see you commented there, so that's good. Does the hat come in large or extra large? Is that for
Yep. Yeah, I
Gear
answered that
Store
first,
or
but just for the whole group. It's just like a strap
Oh, yeah.
back hat, so it should be one size fit all, but we're also working with an inclusive sizing hat company. So if there is anyone who might not fit into the hats we have, we'd be more than happy to work with those individuals to get hats that fit any and all head sizes and shapes.
All right, looks like we covered everything there, so I'm going to shut that just so I can see more folks on here. Here we go. Now I can see everyone. We need parking passes. No parking passes necessary. Messiah's been fantastic. They spread the word throughout their campus that we're coming on board. They're really accommodating, really good to work with. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anyone have any additional questions? I see Nancy. Can I unmute? Go ahead and unmute. Let's hear your questions. So that is the end of my presentation. So if you have any questions, please unmute yourself. Again, certainly if you don't want to bring any questions up here, please email myself, Bryn, or Nick.
Hello.
Go ahead, Nancy.
My dad is gonna be bringing me probably to the Pittsburgh office because well, my friend Katie Day, she sent me the address, so I'll have to give it to my dad because I haven't been in touch with my coach. And not gonna be at my first practice because me and Katie are going to camp on the 20th, so we won't be at the first practice. They already know.
Let me see. Tell me what sport you are again, because I just heard you haven't contacted your
Soccer.
coach, so I want to make sure. Oh, okay. So I think your coach is on here tonight. So, yeah, Mackenzie, you're on there, so hopefully you can reach out there with any questions that you may have. Yeah, there you go, Nancy. Yep. So I see Mackenzie's on there, so I communicated with her yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to, because I didn't know like if we were taking a bus or how we were doing this training like
Yeah.
for
Yep. So
like
there'll be that.
2 days.
Yeah, there'll be that bus that runs from the west, Pittsburgh,
And my
Minnesota
parents don't like driving in Pittsburgh.
office.
They don't like Pittsburgh, but they go down there for at a doctor's appointments
Yeah.
too.
That's done mute.
Yeah,
Sheena, go ahead and unmute.
that was my only question.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
Hey,
And
Bruce.
I take my own medicine and all that.
Cool.
Myself.
Fantastic. All right,
Hey,
I'm going to
Bruce.
turn it over to Sheena real quick.
Bruce, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Fire away.
My staff needs to know where does she need to take me to catch the bus because I live in a group home and she needs to know where she has to take me.
Actually, I just reached out to Chase and all them today, so I have your name highlighted right here. Jesse was working with the coaches and those folks, so I'm kind of trying to figure that out. I know you're from Armstrong, Indiana.
Yes.
Are you closer to Pittsburgh area or Beaver Valley?
Can you
Pittsburgh
hold on one
office?
second? Can you hold on one second? I gotta get my staff real quick and you can talk to her, ask her about that.
We'll talk to her after we're done here. I just want to make sure if
Okay.
anyone else has any
And I
questions.
do have my medications wrote down because my staff she helped me write them down on paper. Now with me, I am doing my own medications here at home, but the staff has to mark them off on the computer. And
Okay,
they do have Metamars for the times I take them.
perfect.
So when they do it, do you want me to let them know that they have to put my Boston packs in a clear bag with my name on them?
That would be fantastic if you did that, just so we don't get it mixed up with anyone else.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do it because that's what happened. I don't want to mess up on my.
Nope.
We had a problem at camp for that, so we don't
Sherry, I'll
want that to happen.
Sherry, I'll talk to you later about it.
Cool.
All right, Coach.
Thanks, Tom. Really appreciate that. Michael, I see you have your hand up or you're giving me a high five. Either way, you can unmute.
Martha.
I have to go downstairs for medication.
Okay.
Mary, anyone can unmute. You don't have to ask, so you can certainly
I have a
unmute. There you
question
go, Mary.
about
bowling for training camp, can I bring my bowling backpack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Backpack with
Okay, because it's in
Yay.
my bowling backpack, my shoes and stuff.
Okay.
Absolutely. That would be great.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
We
Michael
got
Martin,
question-
did you
A question?
go ahead there?
Yes, is there any way do we have a drop off,
That point?
location that we can?
Your
It's
location?
Northeast PA,
Yeah.
or am I driving all the way down there?
No, I mean, actually, let me check this. I think you're one of the ones that I talked about earlier that we're looking for.
Yes.
You're from Monroe, so I know
Yeah,
that,
Monroe.
Yes,
Yes.
did you see the email that you got from Nelson?
I got an email from you, I believe, about
Yeah, and then
transportation.
Nelson was trying to reach out to you too, just to figure that
Okay.
transportation out. So if you can
Um,
respond to both of us, we'll make sure that we get the transportation. So you're one of them that we were looking for, and there's also someone else in the Greater Lehigh Valley too that we're trying to figure out.
Okay,
All right, because
I got a bus or?
well, I'll try you. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
yep, perfect. So just respond to Nelson and I so we can make sure that we take care of you.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, perfect. Thanks.
Uh,
I'm going to, if anyone wants to disconnect, feel free. I'm going to hang on for a little bit for any additional questions or anything like that. I see a bunch of coaches on here, so really thankful for you guys for jumping on tonight. I know we had a meeting last week and there's another one today, but really wanted to make sure that we have training camp tighten up and make sure we get all of our athletes there. Jamie, I'll be reaching out to you and Ellen too. I'll probably just share this presentation and all that. I
Yeah,
am,
also
like I
this
mentioned
discussion.
earlier, I am going to go out to Minnesota
what you
Monday
said.
through Thursday, so I
Travel
won't be
arrangements.
readily available, but I will be checking my
Okay.
email. So I have, some backups with
All right.
Brandon, and Michelle Boone as well. With that being said,
I mean, I
please
can
feel free to
travel.
disconnect, but don't wait till our next meeting. Don't wait till training camp. Any questions, please send us an email, reach out to your coach. Training camp is going to be amazing, but I want to make sure that we start off on the right foot. Obviously, we need the athletes there.
I
I
can't
want to make
drive
sure
you.
you have a good experience getting there too.
That's
So
what I said.
It's 2
with that,
hours.
we'll all work together.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work getting 120
That's
folks
2
from across
hours.
the
Get there.
state to one place. But well worth it. Going to be an awesome experience. Coaches, again, please feel free if you have any additional questions, reach out. I want to be as transparent and provide as much guidance and assistance as we can.
Yes.
The more you know, the more I know, the more you know, the
Yeah.
better
I
experience.
see space.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, I do have one.
I think whoever's talking, I can't see where you're at, but please go ahead.
Hang on a second. There we go.
Freddie, is that you? There you go.
Sorry that.
All good.
So I have actually been trying to figure what's going on with my soccer practice because I think there's practice this Sunday, but I got no communication about as to where it is or what time it starts.
Let me see if Mackenzie's still on here.
Or who my coach is actually.
Who your coach is for Washington Green?
Wait, what? No?
You just said soccer though.
Oh, for Pathfinder, sorry.
And what's that, for soccer or what sport?
Yeah, soccer.
My bad. I'm not sure about that. I just know Mackenzie from USA Games.
Sorry.
So are you from the Greater Lehigh Valley region?
I'm from the Three Rivers region, I believe.
Yeah, Three Rivers, man. My bad. All right. So shoot me an email. I'll try to connect you with Chase out there and figure out who your coach is. But I'll do my best to help you out there in that situation. But what you're referring to, it's a separate team as opposed to your Washington Green that's going to USA Games.
I can.
Oh, that makes more sense. Sorry. But no, seriously,
No
I
worries.
was trying to figure not for USA games, but for soccer practice. That's why I got so confused.
Yep. No worries there. All right. Any other questions? Well,
Hey,
we
Bruce,
had
I did go down, talk to my staff about what you just said and everything, so we'll get in touch and let you guys deal with it so that you don't get lost.
Yeah, we don't want you to get lost. We want to see your face at training camp.
I can.
And the
drive.
other, I told her, Now, this is what I told her about the medications. I said you will be able to just, they don't have to be in those small
Transporting.
baggies. They can be in bottle pots, but they have to be in a clear bag with my name on it.
Perfect.
So I'm on it.
Nice. Coach Tom will help you out too, so that's awesome.
I know that coach has already been on top of me.
All right, I could stay on here all night, but I know you guys are busy, got things to do. Weekend's coming up too, so
Oh, duh. I have
All
to
right.
go to the dentist next week to get a tooth done. I have to get a root canal done, so that's gonna be done before I even come to camp.
Ooh. Best of luck with that. All right,
Oh,
folks.
it's not
I'm
fun.
going to end this meeting here. A lot of conversation going on there, but we'll never end.
Bye,
Please
Bruce.
reach out. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.